caught this Prothonotary Warbler near nest box number 8. It's an adult female, and after second year. So we're going to go ahead and give her a band, a color band, and give her a geolocator to see where her migration path goes.
Are you specifically targeting females?
No, we're doing males and females. Females you can catch sometimes on the nest, and males you can lure in with playback. This bird was captured sort of passively just during our regular monthly banding operation. But we've sort of situated a lot of the bird boxes near our mist nets to sort of increase the possibility that we would catch these guys passively. So yeah, so this is a female, an ASY, doesn't have any molt limits between the greater coverts and the primary coverts or within the alula tract. Her tail feathers are nice and rounded, suggesting an ASY. And we're going to take a bunch of measurements and take some feather samples so we can do some genetic work.
Band number.
Okay. The wing is 65. The band number ends, I'll give you the whole thing, 2730 17821.
And you said she's an ASY. Are you specifically targeting ASY birds?
We are. They should have a slightly higher probability of returning next year. So that increases the probability that we'll get the geolocator back. You know, young birds that may be more naive and not nesting successfully have a lower probability of returning next year. They may disperse to a new site or maybe have a lower survivorship probability. BP is W. Fat is trace. No body molt, no flight feather molt. Flight feather wear is moderate, M. No molt limits. Age is O by N. Sex is female by P and B.
On.
Okay, so we color banded the bird so we can track this individual. Next year, hopefully when the bird comes back, we'll see exactly which bird this is. We'll know that right metal, left green means that there's a geolocator on that bird, and we can target it to recapture the bird, take off the geolocator, and download the data. We're going to take a tail feather here, and it's got a little bit of DNA that we can do some genetic work with. But we're also going to take some crown feathers and some chest feathers. A group that we're working with is looking at the reflectivity of these feathers, the intensity of yellow, and we can relate that back to the probability of successfully nesting to see if brighter birds are more successfully nesting than paler colored birds.
And how does a geolocator document migratory pathways?
So a geolocator just logs the intensity of light. It doesn't track like a GPS does. It doesn't position the bird on the earth that way, but instead it records the intensity of light every 5 minutes. And as the sun is rising and as the sun is setting, you can see that transition in light. And using the time of sunset and the time of sunrise, you can use that along with the date and the time to basically position the bird on the planet.
Do you have any idea of where these birds migrate in the winter?
No one's really sure. It's entirely possible they go to Central America. They could go to some of the Caribbean islands or northern South America. But the geolocator will be some of the first evidence that shows where Louisiana birds are going in the winter. So here's a little geolocator. This weighs 0.4 grams, which is only about 4% of the bird's body weight. This little stalk right here contains the light reader, and this little stretchable cord is basically serving as the harness, the backpack. So we'll loop this around each of the bird's legs, and the unit will sit on the bird's back, just like that, once it's attached. Okay, so the geolocator is on. You can see the little bit of cord right here that is wrapped around each of the bird's legs. That'll secure the geolocator to the bird's back. This cord is a little bit flexible. It's stretchable, So as the bird accumulates fat for migration, the cord should adjust with the bird. But it's also snug enough that there's no chance that this will slide off the bird's leg. You want a little bit of give, just like this, so the bird can accumulate fat, but it's not so loose that it's really sliding around. So this is actually a really nice fit. And as the bird moves through the forest and moves across its migratory path, this little light stalk will be sticking up off its back, collecting data for the next year. So we're ready to let this little female go. We look forward to seeing her again next year when she brings back her geolocator. She's off to finish raising her young for this season, and wish her well. Good luck, little girl.
Here she goes.